guys, this is channel Psalm 86, and I wanted to do just a quick video since I only have a 15-minute time frame on my YouTube channel. But I saw this article that really caught my eye, and I will show you the links to the videos that I highly recommend you watch. Chuck Pierce, who has been exposed, and I'll show in a minute how, apparently gave Mormon Glenn Beck a mantle. And I'm going to the second article that has to do with this story, where he gives a quote-unquote, I guess you could say, explanation. And he says, I know many of you have concerns about Glenn Beck being a guest at Global Spheres, while others thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened. Falma Rufus asked me to host her family, including her new son in the Lord, Glenn Beck. Because of my love and honor for Falma, I was very blessed to do so. I would do the same for any of you. At Global Spheres, we are called to host revival. Concerning Glenn Beck and his family, I enjoyed being with and hosting them. Jesus would have done the same thing. Really? So Jesus hosted stuff for occultists, basically? He goes on, Glenn is a Mormon. However, many prophets have prophesied that those in the Mormon religion will have revival. How would that ever happen with someone like Falma praying and someone like me opening my heart to embrace the opportunity? I honestly know that it is not by might nor by power but by the Spirit that any of this can change. Glenn Beck, like Cyrus, has a voice to change this nation. Cyrus had God's mantle to do so. To compress time, I will put the link underneath the video because I'm trying to get this done quickly. Here, right in here, is, it's one of those advertisements on this site, is yesterday's post. Chuck Pierce mantles Glenn Beck in church ceremony. And let's scroll down to the picture here. Right here. Right there. There's Chuck Pierce and there's Glenn Beck, the Mormon. Let me click out of these two. Now, the following blog that I'm going to go to is not an endorsement, and I'm going to show you why. Because the guy kind of goes along with what I talked about last week with some of these false discerners. I don't know if they're blind spots these people have. I don't know. I really don't know. But this person that heads up this blog, while very well researched, he was to find the Kabbalah link with Chuck Pierce. He himself, the writer of this blog, has fallen into the Catholic mysticism stuff, and I'll show you here in a minute. So I give, and if I could do big bold letters with my words speaking to you right now, I give a strong caveat to this guy's blog. If you're going to refer to it, refer only for the stuff on Chuck Pierce's Kabbalah stuff. That's it, because he's off. Right in here, he had exposed or put the link together of Chuck Pierce Truth in the Kabbalah. He writes, Chuck Pierce and Robert Heidler respond to the Kabbalah charge, which they did. Of course, they just kind of glossed it over. Right down here, Chuck Pierce is just repeating himself. He talks a little bit about the Kabbalah there. Chuck Pierce and Kabbalah, the month of Iyar. Chuck Pierce and Kabbalah, the month of Nisan. Chuck Pierce, teacher of Kabbalah. I will put the links underneath the video that I'm speaking on. And again, big bold letters, big caveat. Only go to this site just for this information to show the Kabbalah link, the fact that Chuck Pierce basically is a Kabbalist, and I'll show you a video that I did on him that I showed a little bit of that. But bear in mind that this guy right here, and I'll show you, and I'll show the video on why I feel like this for you to refer to if you don't believe me. Where here, this writer of this blog is endorsing Teresa of Avila, who was a Catholic, pretty much a Catholic occultist, if to put it in a nutshell. And I talk about Teresa Avila. This is just a little side note, by the way. I don't want to get off topic, but if you want to refer to where I talked about Teresa of Avila, you can go to this video that I did right over here, and I show some excerpts of a man and a woman that have an expose site reading excerpts of her diary. Right here, it's called Eastern Practices Inside the Church, Ushering One World Religion. In that video, I talk a little bit, or show a little bit, about the deception of Teresa Avila. So again, I'm sorry to repeat myself, only go to this site for the Chuck Pierce stuff that I'm going to put the link under. That's it. That's it. Moving on. Here is one of the articles that Chuck Pierce wrote about the Kabbalah stuff. I don't have time to get into this because I only have a 15-minute time limit. As time progresses and June comes and I'm able to go back to doing longer videos, I will show a little bit more about the gematria stuff. But all this name stuff and God having different names and all these codes, all that is gematria. It's all quantum physics type stuff. It takes away from the gospel because it leads you on this mystery thing. You know, the gospel is enough. We don't need to be going and figuring out all these Hebrew letters. If you love Jesus and you follow Jesus, he paid for it all at the cross. We don't need to be hunting around for all these mysteries. And that's exactly what Jonathan Cahn, who's another one and who I plan on doing a longer expose on him as well in the months to come. He's another Kabbalist who's using Kabbalistic doctrines and tweaking the meaning and tweaking the spelling. That's exactly what Chuck Pierce is doing as well. Right here in this video, I showed it in one of my other videos that I'm going to reference too about kind of Chuck Pierce's Kabbalistic stuff having to do with the sound and the frequency, which all has to do with quantum physics. And I'll show you the video links here in a minute that I'm going to point you and direct you to watch so you can see. But this video right here.
The waves of sound are creating the way that you will go in this season ahead. And the sound is making a highway. The sound creates a highway. I see strands of DNA being reprogrammed.
Okay, that's that. Now let's digress over here for a minute. Right here I did a video, and I'm not going to click on the video because my computer is very, very slow, and if I click on it, it'll take forever to load. I did a video right in here. Let me find it. Where is it? It is about... right here. I'm sorry, I was scrolling down too low. It's called Joseph Smith and the Kabbalah. And in this video, I show a clip of Glenn Beck when he went to that, I forgot what Christian university it was last year, and taught and gave this whole proclamation of Jesus. Very, very deceptive, because if someone didn't know any better, you would think that he was a Christian. He is not a Christian. He is a Mormon. Mormons are not Christians. And in this video, if you watch the video, and I encourage you guys to please watch the video, it's another Kabbalah link. It's based on an article, and I read portions of it, of a guy, he even won an award. It's even recognized in, is it Utah? I can't remember, I think it's Utah, for the validity of what this guy wrote. And I read portions of it. Actually, matter of fact, the article is called Joseph Smith and Kabbalah, the Occult Connection. The whole religion of Mormonism is based on the occult. It's Kabbalistic stuff. And it's an excellent article. Just go to the video, watch some of the excerpts that I read, or you can just go underneath this video and read some of the excerpts. You know, it's no wonder that another Kabbalist, being is Chuck Pierce, is yoking himself, and I wouldn't even say it's yoking, because I would not consider Chuck Pierce part of the body of Christ, because he is a occultist. Sorry to say, but it is what it is. but he is merging, so to speak. It's like they're coming out of the woodwork. It's like all of these occultists are coming out of the woodwork. First it's Christians being friends to the Catholics. Now they're throwing Mormonism in the mix. It's not Christianity. Okay, lastly, and again, please encourage you guys to watch these videos. I know they're long, but if you want to hear why and how I tie in, like that video I just played of Chuck Pierce and the frequencies and the quantum physics, this video I did right here. It's called Kabbalah, New Age, Gaining Ground in the Church, Part 1. It's long, yes, it's almost 2 hours, but I go into a little bit of Chuck Pierce in that video. I don't go too much into him because to be completely frank with you all, I have been a little bit apprehensive because the only research I have found about Chuck Pierce has been from that blogger that is now embracing Catholic mystics, and I don't want to lead anybody astray, but this whole thing with Chuck Pierce promoting Glenn Beck and Mormonism, it pretty much leaves me no choice. So that's why I gave the caveat. So if you want to see how this whole thing ties into the Kabbalah and Chuck Pierce and all this frequency and all that stuff, I please implore you to watch Kabbalah, New Age, Gaining Ground in the Church. After that video, I encourage you guys to watch this short video called Kabbalah and the Pyramid Structure. After you watch that video, please watch Kabbalah, New Age, Gaining Ground in the Church, Part 2. I show a Kabbalist talking. It's like an hour and a half lecture that I show, and he basically lays out Kabbalistic stuff. Of course, he doesn't lay out every single thing because Kabbalah is it's complex. It's not an easy study. It's definitely something that you have to really look into to grasp all the doctrines of it. But these 3 videos, right here being the first, this one being the second, and this one being the third, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you guys watch, along with this video here, Joseph Smith and the Kabbalah. You know, I am noticing more and more Christians on Facebook posting quotes by Glenn Beck. You know, he really sounds like a Christian. You know, he's got this platform on television and everything. I mean, the guy is not a Christian. I'm sorry. You know, it's, 2 Corinthians chapter 11 talks about another Christ. It talks about receiving another spirit. You know, 1 John talks about testing the spirits, to not believe every spirit. And it baffles me that these Christians are falling for this. It's like they're not they don't care that this man is a Mormon, or they're not going and researching what Mormonism really is. I mean, it's baffling. It's shocking. So I encourage you guys, please do your own research. Seriously. Do your research on what Mormonism is. And just because, like I said this in the last video, it only takes a little leaven to leaven the whole lump. You know, you could hear 95% truth, and it's that 5% that's poison. However, when it comes to Glenn Beck and Mormonism, I'd say it's a lot more that's false than 5%. But they're really, really candy coating the truth that they are talking about. And just because they talk about Jesus, it doesn't matter. Their view of Jesus is completely opposite of what true Christianity is about, as far as Jesus being the only begotten Son of the Father. He is God. We are not going to become gods. We never will be equal to Christ, only as far as a glorified body and a glorified spirit, but never as far as being divine. And that's what Mormonism believes. So when they talk about Jesus, they're basically talking about, quote unquote, our equality. That's what we're going to be like. So please, guys, please, please, please look into what I showed you. The links are underneath the video. I'll even put the video links underneath the video. But please, guys, be discerning. Please. God bless you guys, and you guys take care.